meet you.
Hi, Jack and Becca.
Becca, nice to meet you.
Alex.
Alex, nice to meet you. Come on in, guys. Glad you guys could make it. Are you guys hungry?
Very.
Well, I'm excited. We got you guys involved in the harvesting and butchering of this deer. Today we're gonna put it to a pan and flavor it. It's gonna be exciting. So let's get to it.
All right.
Here we go, guys. We have a cut of meat from Ben's deer. You guys helped butcher this. Beautiful cut from the rear quarter. And you'll notice a couple of things. There's some silver skin here, a little bit of fat. We're gonna trim this fat because it doesn't render the same as beef and it doesn't taste the same as beef. Another thing is there's not the marbling that you'll find on a beef steak, which means a couple of things. It's leaner, it's healthier, high in omega-3s, but if you overcook it, it's gonna taste dry. It's almost gonna taste like liver. So that's why it's always imperative that you never really wanna cook a cut such as this past medium rare when it comes to venison. So we'll start with trimming the side. So as you can see, for the most part here, we've trimmed off the silver skin and the fat.
So what exactly is silver skin?
It's the connective tissue between the muscle and the fur, the hide.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't taste good. So you want to get it off. But here, for the most part, we've got it off. Fat's gone. So we have this nice piece of meat that's ready for the pan. We're gonna get it ready with salt and pepper it. So our cast iron is heated. It takes about 5 minutes to warm up. I'm using grapeseed oil. It has a high smoking point. So unlike olive oil, it won't smoke, it won't ruin your steak. So we'll get a little bit of oil in there in the pan. Here's that steak that we salt and peppered. We'll throw it in there. Don't want to cook it past medium rare. When a steak, any steak comes off, beef, venison, you're going to want to let it rest. What that does is the moisture, the fluids, the juices redistribute to the muscle fibers. If you were to cut into it now, juices would run everywhere. You want to trap those juices, they're part of the flavor. So what you do is you let it rest, you tent it with aluminum foil, so rest about that thick, about 5 minutes. You don't really need it much past that. And then, like I said, juices redistribute, and it's going to be that color that you want when you cut into it, and you're not going to lose moisture for the most part.
Awesome.
A nice little medium rare, and we're gonna go ahead and give you guys a taste test, see what you think. Get on in there.
It's really good.
Jack, thanks for making a wonderful meal for us here today and invite us over. Appreciate it. And I'd like to make a toast to the rest of you. Congratulations on completing your first season as hunters, and I hope it's the start of a very enjoyable and rewarding journey as hunters. Cheers.
Cheers.
guys have started down this path to becoming a hunter. General thoughts as you look back on the last few months.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a really good foundation laid before us where we've been able to go learn about how to hunt and then actually go into the unknown or the part that might be more fearful. Learning about just shooting firearms in general and the safety and going through all the actions, I think, has been a really helpful foundation to be able to move forward.
There's so much more than just knowing how to use a firearm and like being comfortable eating meat or preparing game. It was unexpected, just the amount of psychological, not necessarily stress, but growth that you have to go through.
Becca, you came to this with an interest in food from the standpoint of health issues that you had in the past and wanting to actually harvest your own meat.
Yeah, wanting that and wanting that experience too of being able to understand an animal then from the inside out and their own anatomy and being able to harvest that and learning how to use every single piece that I could possibly think of.
It's been a lot more welcoming and friendly and engaging from working with Ben Pedia from the field day and other folks who are just more than willing to lend a hand and assist with teaching certain skills and learning some of the things that you need to learn to be a good hunter. That's been all much more engaging and friendly than my first experience.
The aspect of hunting, it's about adventure. It's about going out and learning new things and stepping outside of your comfort zone. But I think just as importantly is community. We had Ryan, who helped us go out and scout. We had Ben, who worked with you guys on firearms and also provided some deer meat in the end, some venison for our meal today. Jamie taking you up squirrel hunting, Becca, and many, many others that are part of this community, and that's a very important part of it.
Yeah, that first night around the bonfire was
That's
awesome.
really great.
Or it's
Yeah.
like you come in, everyone's really tired, you just had good food, and you just sit back and relax, and you talk about your hunt and during your day, but also your background, what do you do for your day job, because at that moment in time you're all hunters, but you're all hunters with different backstories, and so you can kind of learn more about the people that are basically doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I thought it was a special moment too when one of the older men who was teaching on that first night on measuring the points, and as I kind of looked at the big picture of here's these younger boys who are sitting there listening to someone who at one time was in their seat just learning from the experts and the stories.
When we were out grouse hunting, that was probably the deepest in the woods I've ever been. And it's a totally new level of awareness of just what nature is and observing and hearing so much around you and being hyper aware of it because you're out there for a purpose. That was unbelievable.
I think everybody has the capacity to be a hunter, and I think everybody has that ancient hunter within them. They just need to awaken that, and I think the way that happens is getting outside in general into wild places and being quiet and listening and really letting a lot of the daily distraction melt away and really move from observer to participant. It's something that everyone can do, and I hope you three continue to do that and help other people. And that you've got a community behind you that will continue to help you along that path.
The hunter of the past still lives in each one of us, calling us to step outside the confines of modern routine and visit wild places forgotten by time. The journey will have challenges, but promises to awaken the senses and feed the desire for an honest connection to the natural world that surrounds us.